Hello and greetings to my doting and lovely mothers. I'm back here with you again, and I am so excited, as I am always, to be giving this presentation. You know, every time I give a little chat, I like to call it, that underlines the relationship of a mother and her newborn, my heart lights up and fills with love and pride, because there's nothing more important and more exciting than a mother and her newborn. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, let me say, those who are tuning in to me the first time, you should go to my video channel and view my other two previous videos. And there I talk about things that a mother can do with her newborn from birth until 3 years of age, those most crucial years. And I talk about what a mother should do, no matter if she's economically disadvantaged. There will be no excuse. But if she doesn't, then her offspring for a lifetime will be behind a child that came from a middle-class Caucasian family, and we don't want that. So visit my two previous videos, and there I'll go into details, the do's and don'ts, and I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to make a quick outline here. This is just a nugget, sort of refreshing too. Now, mothers, listen to this much. The knowledge that you enhance with your offspring will be passed on by your adult children. That's right. In other words, what I'm saying is, if you put the values in there, the first 3 years of life, they will do the same with their children. And that is so significant, since the first 3 years of development are the most crucial. Let me say something else here. If you do not intervene those first 3 years, I'm talking about in a significant way, then your child will lag behind forever. I know that doesn't sound kosher, but it is. Now, I want you to stay tuned with me, and we're going to get to the heart of why I said that. But first, let's talk about this. Well, let's give this a title first. Young, economically disadvantaged mothers can enhance the intelligence of their newborn from birth until 3 years of age. I should have added, it's not that difficult. Okay, I'm going to start this presentation by stating a well-known fact, but seldom is talked about openly. And that is, children from advantaged or Caucasian middle-class families have a 9-point IQ higher than their counterpart, and I'm talking about children from low socioeconomically or disadvantaged families. Quite often we're talking about black families and black children. Let me say that this, and I'm going to say it another way. Children from low socioeconomically families lag behind Caucasian middle-class children by 9 IQ points, and we're talking about by the age of 6. Is this IQ disparity very significant? Yes. Because the average IQ is 100 points. So what gives rise to that 9-point disparity between the two groups? Well, I'm going to outline that for you, and I'm going to tell you what you can do, and you can do something to vanquish that difference if you stay with me and follow my instructions here, mothers. Did you know this? That 6 to 8 IQ points can be attributed to self-efficacy, self-esteem. How do I feel about myself? Do I feel I can master anything? Do I feel good about life and others? All of these probes that I'm stating here are significant, and they'll learn the first 3 years of life, not when they're 12, 14 years old. If so, those 9 quality IQ points can't be made up when you're an adult or teenager. It can't be. We don't know why. So, I ask you, mother, what are you going to do? Will you blame your child's lack of intelligence on your race, on your economic status, on society? Or will you say, well, my child just can't learn? Oh, don't do that. All of this is going to sound sort of ridiculous at first, but it's not. Follow me. Again, the intelligence that your precious offspring receives from birth through 3 years of age will be the most crucial years of development. And it is your input, mother, who gives the offspring his or her intelligence. And it doesn't matter whether you have a formal education or not. Your input and the intelligence that you give your offspring will last a lifetime. I'm going to keep saying that word lifetime because it's so crucial. And it starts at birth. Well, you're saying, why can't I enhance their intelligence when they're 6, 7, 8 years old? You can and you should. All I'm saying is the heart of learning takes place. The formula, the outline takes place more from birth until 3 years of age. That's what we're saying. Consider this. Child therapists do not understand what happens those first 3 years of development. However, they do know that at this time, we develop courage, we build confidence, we test our hypothesis, which is needed. Can I do this? Yeah, I bet that'll work. Oh, yeah. We learn to solve problems that are difficult. And then we keep that and file that in our folders. And guess what? When we get older, we'll say, I know how to do that. You don't even know that you're saying that. It's subconsciously done. You know, all of these valuable undertakings are needed the first 3 years, and they're going to be with you throughout your life. Literally, I'm talking about. Why? No one really knows. It could be nature that forces them to learn more and learn it faster, because those first 3 years they learn more and they learn it faster than any other time in one's life. You could never learn as much as they did in 3 years of time. Why is that? Well, we know that the brain is wired differently. That's all we know. And it's wired to take in more information and faster at those first 3 years of development. And it's so crucial. I think perhaps nature say you're a mammal and you need this for survival. I can't prove that. That's anecdotal, but it's worth thinking about. This is a time that you build confidence. And if you have confidence in yourself, at any age, achievements happen, do they not? Now, it's safe to say this much, that if you do not intervene at certain steps, your child will never be as intelligent as he or she could be. Again, this is where the intelligence is gained, and you, mother, will give it to them. They learn the tricks, the techniques, but they're so eager to learn. They'll ask you, what's that, what's that, what's that, all the time. Am I right, mothers? Okay, now, you're going to ask, am I qualified to give this presentation? Let me say this real quickly. If you go to my other videos, I do explain in details, but I'll give you just a little cruise here. I was director of the Parent-Child Educational Developmental Center in New Orleans. It was a center that we wanted to see why there was a 13-point IQ deficit between black, low economical status kid to those of middle-class kid. And that 13 points was huge because, again, I said the average IQ is 100. So we started this educational program. It was affiliated with Tulane University in Family Health and Family Planning. It wasn't a nursery now, none of that stuff. And this was funded by the government. I don't know if I'm going to have time to tell you the results of this, but we brought parents in for 3 years and we showed them different procedures and techniques that they could do to improve the intelligence of their newborn, and they did, and they came to us when they just had the infant. Okay. Now, as I said, it's no longer 13 IQ points. We've gotten that down to 9 points, but that's not acceptable either. And you can do something about it if you know what to do. Consider this: children come into this world equal in intelligence. The intelligence is the same, no matter the race or economic status. All newborns are born with the same amount of intelligence, and they're all eager to learn. So, How about this? Maybe genetics or race or heredity or economic status contribute to the intelligence of an offspring. We just don't know it. No. What I've just said is correct. Now, it does contribute genetics a small amount. Yes, we know that, but not enough to be significant. We know that it is a mother who gives the child the intelligence that lasts for a lifetime. Now, that makes sense, doesn't it? Because the mother spends more time. We're not talking genetics, we're talking about time. And she's the one who's going to intervene those first 3 years and say, no, and tell them what to do and explain things to them. That makes sense. Mothers are more patient too, aren't you, mothers? Now, to buttress all this data that I have given you about race and genetics, listen to this much. When black identical twins were adopted at birth and were placed in families of different races and economic background, something strange happened. A newborn raised by a middle-class Caucasian family by the age of 6 when tested had a higher IQ when compared to the other black twin who were adopted by a black family who was low socio-economical status. And this data is supported with many twins. This was not an isolated incident. This was validated with so many. And this dispels that if a person has a high IQ or something, oh wow, it's not, their kid is going to be very intelligent. No, we made the consumption here that it is not the intelligence. And you're going to say, back up a little bit. You said that Caucasian kid that they raised had a high IQ. I sure did. And the black didn't, so it must be race. No. What I'm saying is the black family may not have known what to do, how to intervene and show those critical procedures and techniques from birth until 3 years of age, and the Caucasian family had, because it had been passed on. It was just in their vocabulary in their mind to do such. Now, I'm going to talk about something real quickly here. I'm going to give you 2 cases to sort of demonstrate what I'm talking about, and they're significantly different. Consider this. I witnessed a Caucasian mother in a store that had toys with her child. It must have been 4 or 5. And the kid did what all kids do, grab something, a toy, and want the toy. Well, at the checkout, the mother realized this here. She asked, not took, the toy and said, "May I have the toy, please?" And she explained, and the kid said, why? And she explained why. And the kid just dropped it. And she said, "We want to pick that up and put it back because some other kid may not be able to find this here." Notice what she did. No screaming, no hollering, explaining. Perfect. Now, consider this second case, which is contrast. And it has nothing to do with which mother loved their kids better. Okay, the young black mother who was with her young child, about the same age, grabbed some bag of goodies. And that's what it's supposed to in a supermarket. Wanted to eat them. This is expected. But the mother snatched the bag of goodies and screamed at her young child and threatened to spank the child when they arrive at home. Well, they're both about the same age. I think this kid looked to be about 4 or 5. Now, she had no way of knowing by snatching things, screaming at and threatening to spank the kid that she would remove 15 quality IQ points from her child, which she loved. I'm going to explain that 15 points because you're saying, how could that be? I'm going to discuss that. But now let's review what I talked about in previous presentation. Now, I'm just going to give you an outline about that. We don't have time to go into all of that. Just go to the other videos. First, mothers, it is crucial that you talk to your offspring, and this begins at birth. That's right. You want to smile. Oh, smiles are so precious. Humans learn when they feel comfortable, and your smile say you matter. Feel comfortable. That's what you're saying, Billy, and I love you. Okay, I know you're saying they don't understand a word. I'm saying, why talk to them at birth? Why talk to them at 6 months? Well, they know that you're trying to communicate with them, and that's everything. They are saying, I feel love. Somebody's talking to me because I'm so scared. This is a strange world for me. I was in the womb. This is crazy. Well, consider this. Suppose you were in a foreign country and you couldn't understand a word somebody was saying, but if they are smiling and talking, you say, oh, well, I feel good. I don't understand. And you don't understand a thing they're saying, but the communication is fluid, and that's all that matters. And we learn more when we feel we are valued, don't we? We all do, no matter what age. Now listen to this frightening information. By the age of 3, a child from a middle-class family has heard more than 30 million words. On the other hand, a child from a low socioeconomically black family has heard only 5 million words. 30 million versus 5 million words spoken in their vicinity. Isn't that something? How do we learn? People talking to us. So it's so crucial that you start talking at a very early age, at birth. That's how they're going to learn. That's how they learn vocabulary words. How do we learn? Someone is talking to us, so you got to talk and you got to smile. Things like to see, although they don't know. Sean, you mustn't be frightened. Mother loves you, with a smile. Calling his name. It is paramount that you play with your newborn from the minute they come here. And what are you going to do? You can stick out your tongue. You can kiss the stomach. You can take your offspring finger and put it in your mouth to say, I love you. You smile. And boy, that is so beautiful. Let me tell you the stages of development real quickly. From birth to 2 months, we call that an infant. And from 2 months to 12 months, we say that's an infant. And from 12 months to 36 months, we call it a toddler, and then at 36 months, it's a child. But we're going to stay within the first 36 months, okay? But you want to constantly sing and talk and see what you're doing wrong. Analyze yourself. Let me say this. Around 20 months, I'm skipping a little bit here, your toddler must learn 10 to 20 new vocabulary words every day. You heard me right. 10 to 20 new vocabulary words every day if they're going to be intelligent for a lifetime. You must put that, and here's what's happening. They're learning how to file those vocabulary words away. So when they see unknown word at the age of 12 or 14, they'll know how to decipher that because they learn. And that's at 20 months. And how do they learn words? Because you are telling them, oh, that's a telephone. You're telling them dog, puppy, water, bottle. And you might want to say Latoya, mother is putting on your white dress. You can even say your name. Latoya, mother Aisha's putting on your white dress. They're learning colors, dress. Learning what a dress is, a color, white. They love that. How about around 3 years of age? We're really skipping here. And they still a toddler. They will throw a tantrum, won't they? Do you become upset? Absolutely not. You might say, stop it, in a gentle voice. If they keep it up, which they will sometime, put a frown on your face. And you can raise your voice just a little. They will stop it because they don't want to be frowned on. None of us want to be frowned on. No one wants you to raise your voice at them, but you should not scream or threaten or spank them at any age. I don't care if they're 8 years old. You don't spank people. It's counterproductive. It doesn't solve anything. Now, if they feel threatened, and they may, at that reason they throw a tantrum, or they could be hungry, then move them from the situation, put them somewhere else where they'll feel eager. And it could be that they just want to get down and test their hypothesis and they're not happy with this and that. You know, at 3 months, your infant can tell the difference between a smiling face and a frowning face. And those smiles say, hey, everything's okay. I love you. We need that today, don't we? Older. Now, you'll talk more and more when your offspring becomes an infant. 12 months, you'll make short 3-word sentences, such as, Billy, I love you. And you're going to speak softly and with a smile, very, very slowly, too, so they can start grasping what you're saying. But those words, I love you, is everything. Notice you're calling your offspring by the name. So they'll learn, this is my name. When he or she enters the toddler stage, and we just said that anywhere there from 1 year to 3 years, you, mother, should begin using 5 to 6 word sentences. 5 to 6 words in a sentence. You can say something like, Jimmy, please pick up your toys. And you said please, and you said it softly. Why sentences? How else do you learn? We cannot learn words in isolation. They must be put together. They mean nothing. So now you start making sentences. You're going to read stories from a storybook and let your child help turn the pages with their finger. Just take the finger and help them. You're going to take your toddler finger and put it on the fat white cat, and you're saying those things. See the fat white cat, Jimmy? You want to use a name, no nicknames. And they'll try to emulate you. And when you pick up the storybook next time, they'll smile and start pointing and so forth. Now, encourage your toddler to play along at given times and reward him or her for their action. Do you know that we found out that kids from low social economic status do not encourage or reward or say rewarding things to their child, say at 3 years of age. There's, I think, 8 praises that a Caucasian will give to one reprimand, but it's reversal when it's African Americans. Now, everybody wants to be praised. Oh, that's so wonderful what you did here. Try it again. How about this? When you're feeding them, you want to say, Kevin, Mother Maria is getting ready to feed you. Look at all this stuff they're deciphering here. You're calling the name of food, and you want to say, I'm giving you some applesauce. They may spit it out, okay? I won't give you applesauce anymore. And you're saying names of different things. Now, when you get ready to bathe your toddler, you might want to say, Dwayne, Mother Aisha is going to wash your nose. You say, I'm giving you a bath. Now I'm washing your nose and washing your ears. See, they're learning words, what things mean, and you're putting them in sentences. Now, I talked about assimilation, accommodation. Go to my other video, and because they learn, especially at that age, through assimilation, accommodation. Now, when you're a toddler and gonna make a mess, what are you gonna do? Well, you're gonna say, Whitney, let Mother Tanya help you clean it up. Get the child's hand and, do that, and you're smiling, but you're not going to scream at them and say, look at the mess you made. And this happens around 3 years of age when they become a toddler. Now listen to this, mothers. A child from a middle class mother will sit down, play more with their toddler than a disadvantaged mother. And that says everything when you're playing with them. Roll the ball here and so forth. Now, when they are also 3 years of age, listen to this. Your toddler, which is really now a child, we can just use it like that, should have a vocabulary of 400 words. That's right, 400 words. Now, they won't use 400 words, but you might use the word father, and they may say dad, but they know what it means. And if they don't have 400 words by the time they are 3 years old, they may not ever be very intelligent, because they are learning how to file it away, how to pull it out, how to associate it with things through assimilation and accommodation. They should also know many colors, at least 4 or 5 colors at this stage at 3 years of age. And they'll go and pick up a storybook then and start reading it themselves, or attempting to read it, I should say, and ask you and point to things on there. They should know numbers up to about 4. And they should be able to name the family pet, not just say dog. They should know the name of it, and they should recognize faces, grandma face, your best friend face, and they should know the name of your best friend. When it's talking on the telephone, you don't want to say, oh, telephone, don't bother the telephone. You want to say, Deshaun, do you want to talk to my friend Militia? And let Deshaun talk to him. All of this is building intelligence for your offspring. And they'll be eager to help you with some chores, because you're going to say things like, Beth Ann, would you like to help me put on your white dress? And you get their hands and help you. Or Anthony, would you like to help Mother Whitney put on your blue pants? And you're smiling. It means so much. And at this time, about 3 years on, you want to start saying thank you and please. Thank you, Diane, for giving Mother the ball. See? Oh, boy. And let's see now. Let's talk about that spanking. If you spank your child consistently or scream at them, they'll just stop asking queries. How do they learn? What is that? What is that? What is that? Testing their theory. And they say, I bet this will work with, blocks and things. Well, if you whip them, they're going to stop. When you stop asking and trying to learn and somebody hit you or screamed at you all the time, that's where the 15 IQ point deficit comes, because they could gain those 15 IQ points from birth until 3 years of age. But if they don't feel comfortable, boop. And that is why we believe there's a 9 IQ point difference between the races. Later on in life, you say, oh, they'll be energetic later on in life and inquisitive. No, we don't know why, but something stays there. And it happens from birth until 3 years of age. So don't believe that, mothers. What else I want to say to you? Oh, the results of our pilot program for 3 years that we kept those mothers, they came in with their newborn. Well, guess what? They erased 9 IQ points. That's huge from that 13 gap that was there between the two races. And these were economically disadvantaged mothers, very young. And we just told them different procedures. We had manuals and techniques to start. Just go to Mother video and see that. So, you doting mothers, you sacrifice so much, you love your newborn. Wouldn't it be a shame if you don't do all the things that I said? And you don't have to believe me, there are thousands of these on YouTube. Just go on the internet saying identical what I said. I just kind of messed it all together here. And you can erase that 9-point IQ as it is today. And if you don't, they'll never get it and erase it. Well, 1 or 2 might, as they proceed through life, say at 25. So you're going to have to do it now. Okay, you want to laugh as much as you can. Okay, I'm Clifton A. Castile, and it's been fun. And thank you so much. I'm glad we haven't got through this, because the lights are going to go out on us. Share this video with other mothers. Have some teacup cookies and tea and have some fun here. Okay? Thank you so very much.